No intro, guys. No intro today. No intro for this stream. I decided not to do an intro. No intro, guys. No 25, 30-second intro, and no Batista. Give me what I want clip today, guys. Tonight. What's up, guys? AWA and Warrior presenting you Laying the SmackDown Wrestling and Sports. This is the channel for, basically what I said. Wrestling and sports. This is AWA and Warrior once again. This is my sports and wrestling channel, not my main channel. On here, if you're new here, check out this channel for the first time. Please subscribe down below, please. Thank you. If you're especially into wrestling and sports, if you're not into wrestling or sports, subscribe if you want. If you're not into one and either, sometimes you're into. Some people are into wrestling and some people are into sports. This is still the channel for you. It's talk about all things wrestling and sports related. So please subscribe if you're new here. Definitely if you're new here, okay? As you know, for your wrestling fans, please also smash the like button down below. That helps out, please. Help me get to 500 subs. And I'm 167 subs away. 333 subs, 167 subs away. And almost there to getting to 3,000 hours. So please help me get to that goal so I could, do members. Start a membership for you guys. Also super chats and so on. Then the goal is to get to 1,000. help me get monetized. That's what I'm basically asking. And make sure to share this out on all social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, whatever social media platforms you have, please. And for you wrestling fans, I'm trying something. It's all about wrestling. It's all about wrestling. Episode 79 will be happening tomorrow. On a Monday, we'll be recapping a lot of things wrestling related this past week. Edge retirement. Edge, is he retired or not? We'll talk about Edge. Definitely, that might be the main topic. We're going to talk about AEW. We're getting a card set for All Out, and then we're getting a card set for All In. Both pay-per-views in 2 weeks. We're going to talk about, basically that's it. We're going to go through the weekly review of wrestling. And so, and like I said, I'm trying something new. I'm trying to do a review. Every time there's a show that ends for wrestling, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, or Collision, I'm trying to do, a 10 to 15 minute review of the show. I've done 2 so far on this channel. The past 2 days, I done for Collision on Saturday, and I did SmackDown on Fridays. Each video is about 11, 12 minutes. Go check it out. For Raw, it might be a little longer because it's a 3-hour show, so I'm gonna try to cram a 3-hour show into 10 to 15 minutes max. It's gonna be a little harder, but there might be a chance that I don't get everything in the Raw review. And then obviously NXT, NXT is having their NXT Heatwave event on Tuesday, and we're going to definitely talk about that. Okay, so that's basically 5 reviews for 5 shows a week. I know it's a lot. Okay. Now, it's done with my wrestling. My wrestling stuff. We're going to talk sports, specifically basketball, specifically James Harden. Yeah, James Harden, Philadelphia. Now, James Harden's been making the news lately in the NBA and sports world this past week. And we're going to invite people on. You're all allowed on to talk basketball with me, guys. You're all allowed on. Even you blinded if you're listening, buddy. And I guess you could say this might be a rant, but this is not really a rant per se. And I hope, and Degrassi, Guys, come watch my stream, buddy. You'll have more fun in my stream. Please, you'll have more fun. I know you will. I'm sorry. You're all come in, guys. All right, if you're free, come in. All right. So yeah, so James Harden's been making the news because of the trip to the NBA trip to China to promote the game in China, and there was a video of James Harden. Oh my God, I forgot to put my headset in. Now I have my headset in. James Harden. Just a minute. Okay. Of him basically calling out the GM of the Philadelphia 76ers, Daryl Morey, basically a fraud, a liar, for not promising what he wanted. And what Harden wanted was, well, a trade out of Philadelphia. He wanted to be traded from Philadelphia. And everybody says the team he wanted to go to was the Los Angeles Clippers with Kawhi and Paul George and Russell Westbrook. Yeah. I guess I wouldn't necessarily call him the big three. Westbrook, I wouldn't say it's one part of the big three, but you get the idea. Now, please come in, guys. You're allowed to come in. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Let's get into more of this. Let's do this. Talk about James Harden. Thank you. Come on, Mad Dog. Let's get your take.
Well, let me put it this way. I can't. First of all, I just want to say, even though I can't stand Joey Chestnut in the hot dog eating contest, he's more of an athlete than James Harden. I'm sorry, he just did. Harden, oh my goodness, I would think he won the hot dog eating contest based on how he comes out of the offseason. Oh my goodness, well, what is wrong with? He quits on every team that he plays for, and then he blames the general manager when the general manager gives him everything that he wants, or the owner, whoever the hell he has a beef with. I mean, sakes, you were given Dwight Howard. You couldn't win with Dwight Howard. You were given shooters like Eric Gordon, the sixth man of the year, and others. You couldn't win with them. You were given CP3. You couldn't win with CP3. You were given Westbrook back when Westbrook was averaging 25, 26 a game.
The second time he had Westbrook. Don't forget, it's the second time he had Westbrook.
I know, but I'm bringing up when he was the guy in Houston. I'm not talking about OKC because he was just a six man back then. And you know what? He did go to the finals that one time, but that was back when KD was the guy. KD was carrying you.
It was KD and Westbrook were the two guys. Like, yeah.
Now let's get to Brooklyn, because you wanted to go to Brooklyn. You wanted to leave Houston. You couldn't get it done with KD. And listen, even if you were to average more points than you did, you could have beaten Brooklyn and you could have won the NBA championship in 2021. You quit on Brooklyn, and I understand why, because Kyrie Irving lost his damn mind at a certain point, and all that jazz. But still, you get traded to Philly. You got a more experienced coach in Doc Rivers. You got Joel Embiid, one of the best big men currently in the game. You couldn't get it done for two seasons in a row. You had a chance. You had a chance this past year because the Milwaukee Bucks got booted out, and at one point everyone thought you were gonna beat Boston, who couldn't play defense to save a lick. It's like, what are you doing? And then You don't show up for a game 7. And look, Doc Rivers, he's got his faults, but then they throw Doc Rivers on the bus before they get you. Oh, and then you're blaming Daryl Morey. It's like, wait a minute, it ain't Daryl Morey's fault. You only scored what, like 14 points in a game 7? Oh my goodness!
It ain't Daryl Morey's fault. You always
Oh.
choke in big games.
And the team you want to go to? You want to go to the Clippers? The Clippers with injured Kawhi that can never make it. The only time they've ever made it to a conference finals was when Paul George basically had 2 great games against the Utah Jazz to get to the Western Conference Finals after Kawhi went down. Are you kidding me? You know what? They should send you to Portland and get Damian Lillard. Make you miserable. make Dame happy. At least Damian Lillard has played his heart out. He stays in shape. And now you say you want to go to China. So what, you want to give the Dwight Howard experience a second go? Oh my goodness. This guy, he is nothing. Listen, you know what? I'm gonna use the phrases that Skip Bayless used to say about LeBron James. He lacks superstar intangibles. He has not lived up to the hype of a scorer, of an MVP, of an all-star. He is probably the worst superstar to ever play this game. He is. I'm sorry, it's not even close. I don't care if he's averaged more points than Reggie Miller or Ray Allen. They are more clutch than this bum is.
Yeah, at least they went to the finals.
Like, they went to the finals. Like, what is this guy doing? I mean, you've been given everything.
Harden didn't go to the finals, but at least
listen. You've been given everything. Daryl Morey has spoiled you more than Pat Riley spoiled LeBron, more than Dan Gilbert spoiled LeBron. People say LeBron James is a spoiled brat of the league. James Harden is really the spoiled brat of the league. Oh.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true. I don't disagree with you, Mad Dog. I digress.
Like,
James.
Oh my. And I know people will say, well, CP3 got injured in 2018, and those were close games, and had he been healthy, they could have won. But guess what? They were close enough games, but James Harden didn't show up. If James Harden scored more, they could have won that series. And guess what? They could have beaten that Cavaliers team because that Cavaliers team was garbage.
Injuries are part of the game.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? Pete Maravich can outscore this guy. Are you kidding me? Pete Maravich.
Bob Cousy can outscore this guy.
Oh, my. Anyone who says James Harden's a top 10 player in the league needs to get their head examined.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. They're Mad Dog.
And now I'm going to calm down a little bit. All right, and I'm going to calm down a little bit. Whew.
The Philadelphia 76ers are in shambles. Now,
I tell you, the process has not worked out all that well.
No. They can't get past
the second round. It started off good, but now it's gone to shambles.
They can't get past the second round. That's the thing.
No, they can't get. They're basically the Clippers of the East.
Yeah. With Embiid, who fades.
But listen, like a lot of the 76ers problems obviously began before James Harden. First of all, when they chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler, that was just then Ben Simmons and his demons.
Oh yeah, like Ben Simmons, like Ben Simmons is this. His early for a few years, he looked good. He looked like he'd be a superstar player, man. He looked like he could be the next Giannis because he pretty much has the same skill set as Giannis, right? Giannis is not a great shooter, but he kind of has the same skill set as Giannis. But Giannis is a man. Giannis is man. He's not afraid. He's willing to shoot. He's willing to go inside. Like Ben Simmons is like Because just to be honest, Giannis is not a good free throw shooter either. But Ben Simmons is like afraid, man. He's
But here's the thing: like Giannis will attack the basket.
yeah,
Ben
yeah.
Simmons,
That's the thing.
and
Ben
look,
Simmons,
like
Ben
Giannis
Simmons
has a
able
jump shot
attacking.
at least.
Yeah.
Also,
Ben
Giannis has a
Simmons,
jump shot. Like he's not a great jump shooter, but you know what? He'll hit a three. He'll hit a mid ranger.
Ben Simmons is so skilled, so talented that he should be able to attack the basket.
But like Ben Simmons, he can't even develop a jump shot where he can hit mid rangers.
Yeah.
Like
true.
here's the thing. You know, a player of his caliber should at least be able to hit mid range jumpers.
Everybody in the NBA, in my opinion, should be able to hit a mid range shot, at least in this day and age.
It's just pathetic. It really is pathetic. And James Harden, oh my goodness.
If you're a star in the NBA, all star in the NBA, you have to have a shot. I don't care what position you play. The centers these days, the centers back in the day, George, you know, in the 90s, 80s, the centers did not really have a shot, right? Didn't have a mid-range shot or a three-point shot. But if you look at the power forwards and centers these days, they at least have a mid-range shot. At least. And some have a three-point shot, but at least they have to shoot now, you know? We need that now in this day and age. We can't, and you can't play any, here's a fact. Any basketball player that wants to go in the NBA, if you can't shoot, you're not going to make it.
Now, back to James Harden. It's like it isn't like this isn't anything new. I mean, I'm going to go back in time to his last season in OKC when he won Sixth Man of the Year in the finals against the Miami Heat. He did not show up, and look. Obviously, the Miami Heat were favored to win that series because they were more experienced. The Thunder were still babies in a way. And look, Westbrook did have that one game where, like, Magic Johnson said it was the worst performance from any point guard.
Fourth year in. Yeah.
But here's the thing. James Harden, as the third wheel, he basically struggled. And I get it. He wasn't a star back then, so we kind of give it a pass.
He was like a sixth man, right? Like one of the top six men.
Yeah, he was a sixth man. So like we give him a pass for that. But let's now also look at his Houston Rocket experience. Now the first season, you know, they're the 8th seed. It's his first year as a star, and he elevates that franchise. And you know what? They did win 2 games against the Oklahoma City Thunder after Westbrook got injured. They did take advantage of a more vulnerable Thunder team. And yeah, they still lost, but still they made it a series. So I'll give you that. Next season, you get Dwight Howard. You get championship aspirations.
And the thing is, Dwight Howard is not a winner himself, but he did go to the finals.
True. But here's the thing.
He won a championship with the Lakers. But Howard did go to the finals with the Magic. He got destroyed by the Lakers. I remember that.
But here's the thing: that first season in Houston, Dwight Howard was still the Dwight Howard, the star. So
he was still good. He was still putting up good numbers. Yeah,
that was your best chance to win a championship. And I get the San Antonio Spurs were phenomenal, but here's the thing: they didn't lose to the Spurs. They lost in the first round to the Portland Trailblazers, who made their first postseason appearance after a few years. And they lost to Damian Lillard and LaMarcus Aldridge. Listen, you were expected to be the more dominant duo. And look, I get it. Maybe I think Harden and Howard had better stats combined than Aldridge and Lillard did. I mean, obviously, I think Portland probably just had a better all-around team with the role players.
They did. Aldridge, Lillard, Batum, and Matthews. I think
Dwight Howard was averaging 26 points a game that postseason. Like Dwight Howard, that was like Dwight Howard like at his most dominant, and you couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
Now, second season, they become the second best team in the West, but guess what? They almost got eliminated in the second round. If not for the fact that Doc Rivers' teams choke with a 3-1 lead, they could have gone out. Actually, it was Josh Smith that saved their season because Josh Smith finally started hitting threes, started like a basketball player again.
Who was the coach before that?
Oh, Joe. Wait, was it? Yeah, Josh Smith. It was what? Yeah, McHale was your coach.
Okay.
But now let's get into the where the problems.
I know why McHale really hates James Harden. No work ethic.
Yeah, that actually goes into what I want to talk about
Oh,
next
McHale, yeah,
season.
you know
The
McHale.
2000.
He was part of the Celtics teams in the '80s, right? They traded for Parrish and McHale,
Yeah.
and that team with defensive was really, really good. And they were hard nosed, tough. And McHale was known as a defensive anchor, right, for that
So
team. And
so
that obviously that's his coaching style. They're not matched with
so
Harden.
so let's get into like the next season. So
Yeah.
according to Kevin McHale recently brought this up.
Yes, he
James
did.
Harden came in
Yeah,
out of shape for that offseason, which I mean, here's the
it's
thing.
normal for him.
The thing is, the weird thing is that you're coming into it off season out of shape after you make the Western Conference Finals. I'm thinking to myself, okay, you make the Western Conference Finals, you had a really good season. You want to come in hoping to compete for a championship. You're hoping that despite the fact that the Warriors are coming in as favorites after winning a championship, despite the fact that the Spurs have just added LaMarcus Aldridge, despite the fact that Kevin Durant is coming back from injury. This was obviously Kevin Durant's last season in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So like you're expecting
like Houston, they probably should have won over Golden State and advanced to the finals that one year with Durant before he left.
and the Clippers make some moves, but obviously the Clippers are the Clippers, so we don't really take them seriously. But you're expected to still be a top 4 team in the West. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, if Dwight Howard's healthy this season, if I can continue to be dominant scoring, we can make another run.
Why do you think they trade for Chris Paul for some leadership instead? Just to help out Harden for leadership because Chris Paul is a point guard and he has leadership qualities, and you could tell Harden really didn't have that. He didn't have that.
So what happens next? Unfortunately, they start the season off 4-7, and Kevin McHale gets blamed and he gets fired. And the team just has problems throughout the season. Dwight Howard, while he is healthy, he does not look like the Dwight Howard that was expected to dominate. The Ty Lawson experiment, because they did trade for Ty Lawson, did not work out.
Agreed.
It was like they were so wishy-washy. They end the season 41-41 after winning 50-something games the season before, and they lose in 5 games to the Golden State Warriors in the first round. They almost get swept. Like Charles Barkley was saying they go into Cancun.
So I think Harden wanted to go to Cancun.
so then Dwight Howard gets pushed out the door and he goes to Atlanta. Yeah. And then Mike D'Antoni comes in as the coach. But you know what? And they signed Eric Gordon. And at first I'm like concerned because wait, so you signed a shooting guard that has been unhealthy for the last few years, because Eric Gordon was unhealthy for a while. But in a big surprise, they win 54, 55 games. James Harden has a great season. The D'Antoni offense looks really good. D'Antoni does his best coaching job since his days with the Phoenix Suns. They're the 3rd best team in the West. Eric Gordon, 6th man of the year. He stays healthy. Clint Capella does a very good job as a starting center. And they make it to the second round, but then here's the thing. James Harden choked in a Game 6 against the San Antonio Spurs team that was in Game 6 without Tony Parker and Kawhi Leonard. People forget they were hurt.
And this is past.
He only scored. He was like what, 1 for 12? So like
this is past prime Duncan too, right? Duncan didn't retire.
Yeah, Duncan retired. So it's like, okay, you have a chance to not just survive against the Spurs, but possibly maybe win the
Parker's
series.
past his prime also, and he was hurt.
Yeah, well, Parker got hurt, like I said.
And Kawhi wasn't like super. I mean, he was good, but he wasn't like the guy yet.
Well, he was the guy, but he was hurt that season. Like I think this was that in the postseason, so he didn't play. So you had a chance to win it, not just win Game 6, but maybe win Game 7.
Oh yeah, Ginobili was old too.
Yeah, you let Marcus Aldridge, whose numbers went down San Antonio, and old ass Ginobili beat you. So then the next season you add CP3, and you know what? You win over 60 games. You're the best team in the league. You're dominant, and yeah, CP3 gets hurt, but you're up 3-2 against the Warriors. But guess what? If James Harden has a scoring burst, you can win this series and you can win the NBA championship because you are leagues better than that Cleveland Cavaliers team. But guess what? You don't show up, you struggle, and you lose what could have been an easy series. And look, in 2019, it's the same story, except this time it's in the semifinals. But guess what? The roles are reversed. Kevin Durant gets hurt
Mm-hmm.
in the series. CP3's healthy, and you got a chance to win this
Yeah.
series and upset the Golden State Warriors in the second round. And if you win that, Portland, you beat Portland in the next round. I'm not saying I'm not saying you're gonna beat. You can beat the Raptors, but guess what? You make it to the finals and you get a good mojo happening. But you know what? You can't take advantage of
Oh,
the
he would
fact
crumble. He would crumble under Raptors defense. The way the
you
Raptors
couldn't
played
take
defense that
advantage
year.
of a no Kevin Durant team, and then you
Yeah.
know CP3's unhealthy. They trade
Do you-
CP3 and get Westbrook, and
that defense for
they make.
Raptors, he would crumble under that in the playoffs in the final
And first of all, the Houston Rockets, they make that weird move to get rid of Clint Capella so they can go really small, and you lose in the second round in the bubble
Atlanta,
again,
yeah, they traded Atlanta, yeah.
against the against the Lakers. But here's the thing: you go 7 games against CP3 in the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that was expected to not even make the playoffs.
He did, yeah. Oklahoma Thunder had no intention of keeping CP3 anyway. They wanted to get rid of him. Like,
oh my goodness! But,
yeah, like
and then here's the thing:
they were
so
basically
unhappy.
rebuilding. See, the Thunder was rebuilding at the time. Yeah, they got CP3, but they got him for Westbrook, right? But then they traded at that time like George for like a bunch of draft picks. They were trying to build around Shy. That was the plan.
So D'Antoni's out, and
Yeah.
then Harden gets upset and he wants out, but he's like making a fool of himself, showing up out of shape. It's like the thing
during the pandemic.
And Shaq gave one of his best analysis on TNT when he basically said that people thought he didn't give it his all when he said he gave it his all. And you know what? Shaq's right. He didn't really give it his all. You were given all this talent. You were given all these shooters. You were given CP3, Dwight Howard.
He gave it all his all. Have you seen him play defense? Has he seen himself play defense? He moves out of the way. It's like, here, go take the layup. Here you go. Take a layup.
Here's the thing. Your attitude also pushed away other key players. Before Chandler Parsons got hurt, Chandler Parsons was like a really good role player. You pushed Chandler Parsons.
He was
out the door.
He was.
So you pushed him out.
Short.
You pushed Jeremy Lin, who was still a pretty good player when he was playing for the Rockets.
Yeah, he wasn't Linsanity, but he was still decent. He was still good.
You pushed. The thing is, you also pushed other good role players out the door. So it's like it's been just a crazy saga. And the thing is, he didn't show up in the playoffs for the Brooklyn Nets when Kevin Durant needed more help, when Kyrie Irving got hurt. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now: if James Harden was the one that got hurt and missed the rest of that series, and Kyrie Irving was playing, as wacky as Kyrie Irving is, as much as
I agree.
If Kyrie Irving was playing, the Brooklyn Nets would have made it to the NBA Finals. And
I agree.
Won the NBA championship.
As much as we like to shit on Kyrie, as much as we like to shit on Kyrie, because he's one of these guys too. He's actually He's actually pretty clutch in the playoffs.
But here's the thing: that playoff series, he was playing damn good.
Yeah, he does show up.
He had a really good post. He was having a really good postseason.
I mean,
that year until
that's the difference between him and Harden. You're right. The difference between him and Harden, he does show up in the playoffs. Kyrie.
So I'm gonna throw that out there. Kyrie Irving would have showed up more than James Harden. And I'm not the biggest Kyrie fan. I think Kyrie's a bit wacky. But you know what? Kyrie Irving did show up. And look, I get it. James Harden was getting disgruntled because Kyrie wasn't playing. He wasn't getting vaccinated and all of that. But here's the thing. The team was still, before James Harden got traded, the team was still fairly decent. And look, if you just show up, if you just step it up, you and Kevin Durant alone can get this team.
He was supposed to be not Brooklyn deep. He was the third guy. The pressure should have been off him. Durant was the main guy. Durant was the number one guy. And Kyrie and Harden, I guess, could be battling for number 2. The pressure should have been less for Harden there. Like, that was the idea. Like, but it wasn't the case. You know?
And here's the thing: you get traded to the team in the Eastern Conference you
Yeah.
were rumored to want to go to,
Because of the
and so
same
you're
GM.
and here's the thing: everyone thinks that that Philly wins the trade because they get rid of Ben Simmons and they get James Harden. And here's the thing: first of all, you win in 6 games to a Raptors team that's rebuilding in the first round. Now let's now nothing against the
And they took
Raptors, but
2
they were
games.
rebuilding.
And that Raptor team had no star on it. Like superstar.
Yeah.
And they took 2
So
games.
then you obviously lose against the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, look, they're a very good team, but let's be real here. They don't have
Yeah.
Bam Adebayo is not Joel Embiid. Now I get it, Joel Embiid
Oh.
does get hurt in the postseason,
Or he
but let's be
phased in the
real here.
postseason.
James Harden, listen, Joel Embiid's still good enough where if James Harden can just step it up and he's capable of stepping it up, you can possibly either make it a series or you can possibly get past that Miami Heat team.
It's just Miami has a good coach, a really, really good coach.
Yeah,
Top-tier coach.
Miami's obviously got a really good
And
coach.
they
It's the
and
same,
they
and it was the same
you
thing.
could tell the players love playing for him. You could tell.
And it's the same thing with this past offseason. Listen, if James Harden just bumps his scoring numbers up, they were up 3-2 against Boston. If you just bump your scoring
Yeah.
numbers in Game 6, you win this series without a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And look, the Miami Heat, yeah, they made it to the NBA Finals, but they were still a vulnerable team. They only won. They almost gave up a 3-0 lead against the Boston Celtics. You have a chance to possibly make it to the NBA Finals.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I don't think they would have beat the Nuggets.
No, I don't think they would
Oh.
beat the Nuggets, but guess what? You go in the finals, and you know what? You get a new
I'm,
fire lit under you, and you're like,
I'm gonna say right here, James Harden is never gonna win a ring. He's never gonna
no,
get a
he's not.
championship. He's not.
But here's the thing: you could have lit a fire to yourself and say, "Damn, we were this close," and you could and you and Joel
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna work hard this offseason, and we're gonna get it done this year.
You don't want to choke in Philadelphia. Because you know Philadelphia, you know what the fan base is like in Philadelphia. You don't want to choke in Philadelphia, man. Okay?
It's just the thing is he's the most inconsistent superstar to ever play.
Oh yeah.
He's inconsistent.
And
Listen. He wants to be like Kobe. He wants to be like Kobe. He's never gonna
he's
be
not
Kobe.
Kobe.
He's never gonna be Dwayne Wade.
Kobe could defend.
He's not
Man.
even.
Kobe could defend. The Wade.
And look,
Wade. Yeah, I agree.
Wade, even though he might have might have averaged more points than Ray Allen.
They play with heart.
Reggie Miller, Klay Thompson.
They play with heart. Harden doesn't play with heart.
He's never going to be as clutch as those guys.
No,
because guess what? They know that it's not stat padding that's going to win games. It's hitting the clutch shots.
I know he averaged like 10 assists. I guess it's
and here's the thing. I'm going to say it's not just because I'm a fan of this player, but because based on what this player's been able to do, Jimmy Butler is going to have a better legacy than James Harden, in my opinion. Jimmy Butler has taken the Miami Heat twice to the NBA Finals. Even if Jimmy Butler never leads the Miami Heat to a championship, I think Jimmy Butler is going to go down with a better legacy because Jimmy Butler is a better leader. He plays defense. He's hit more clutch shots.
He plays hard.
He's got heart. Listen, when he quit on
48 minutes.
He quit on the Minnesota Timberwolves, it wasn't because he wasn't doing his job. It was because he saw the other guys weren't doing his job, and he saw that they had. He saw that they had more talent than him, and they weren't playing as hard.
Wiggins has figured it out, though, in Golden State. He's figured it out. I'll say that. Towns, I don't know about Towns. I mean, he's been hurt this year, but but you're right about Butler. He plays hard. He plays with 100%, 48 minutes. Well, 48 minutes. He does that, and he tries to do everything. A leader to me has to play defense. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you. You're not you know what? There's athletes that are not the greatest defenders, but if they try, it shows that they have some qualities of leadership. Like Harden, here's a problem, George. Here's a problem with people. Not every single superstar or all-star is a leader. People think that a superstar and all-star has to be a leader. That's not the case. Some superstars and all-stars don't have that kind of qualities. Right? They don't. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
Like Harden clearly doesn't. And I think that rubs off against teams. I mean, do you want Harden? If you're an upcoming team, a young team that's rebuilding, do you really want Harden on that team? Because his energy would be a negative. His his stuff, him in the locker room, the morale. I bet his morale would cause would cause a negative effect in a young locker room coming up. Like if you put him like on the like who's Detroit. Detroit's been struggling for years, but Harden, you think if you put Harden on Detroit, it would be better for him. You need Harden on a veteran team. That's the problem. You need Harden on a veteran team, and you need leaders. You need players on that team that are leaders. And I personally don't know if Philadelphia has them. I mean, I don't know if Embiid's a leader himself, personally, because he tends to blame everybody else besides himself at times. And sometimes a leader needs to blame himself, and Embiid has a history of blaming everybody else. I really don't know if Philadelphia has any leadership there. Any leaders
There really isn't. It's always
Yeah.
been like the other players. Like, and that's probably another reason why Jimmy Butler probably didn't stay in Philly as well, because he kind of saw that these guys, like, there's really no leadership. Like, these guys ain't gonna live up to the potential. The thing is that you can have so much given talent, but it's like you need to have them, but you can lack that mentality. There's a reason why certain guys do better. There's a reason why a Jimmy Butler has succeeded despite not being as talented. There's a reason why Reggie Miller succeeded despite not being as talented as some of these guys. There's a reason why Kevin Garnett has a better legacy than some guys that might have averaged more points than him.
Yeah.
Like, these guys, the mentality, the competitiveness that these guys have.
I just feel like the All-Stars, the stars these days have more in the NBA don't have leadership qualities because most of them are giving up too quickly. Like I know Lillard. We got on Lillard like a couple months ago for winding out, but Lillard's rode the grind of trying with Portland. So we give him a little bit of a pass there, but then we came down hard on him, right? For only wanting to go to Miami. But it seems like these days, now that there's with Harden, now there's rumors possibly Embiid might be wanting out eventually down the line. Because things are not going your way, man. The East is not that I'm sorry, but the East is not that good. Okay? Because I can think the Philadelphia has talent right now, but I think there's a chance this team could implode. I think there's a chance this team may not have a good record.
I wouldn't be surprised if this team rebuilds either at some point this season or after this season.
Trust the process again.
The thing is, there's a certain point we gotta realize that
any sport, Anthony,
it's
sport,
it's not working.
Any sport.
But the thing is, here's the thing: the Boston Celtics, they after the Big Three era, they went one season where they didn't make the playoffs, but then after that, they were getting better each year. There might have been a season or two where they may have taken a step back, but they still made the playoffs, and then they bounced back the following season in a better way.
And look, there's two stars are young. Boston, I'm saying it's George. Their two stars are young. Tatum and Brown are still young, but they got Al Horford, who's very well respected in the NBA as a leader.
Well, yeah, right? you got Al Horford. Yeah, but the thing is, you also got guys on that team that have a competitive mindset. I know Marcus Smart's no longer on the team, but Marcus Smart had a competitive mindset to him.
Isaiah
Thomas. Some guys like sometimes you also gotta have role players that can be a leader.
Yeah, look at Golden State's first championship run. Curry, Thompson, and Green are obviously the stars, but they had Bogut. They had Andre Iguodala, leader guy, and Iguodala was like he could score in his career, but at the time as Golden State, he wasn't as prime anymore. But he was always known to be a good defensive small forward.
That brings me to my other point. Draymond Green is not as talented as Stephen Clay, but guess what? He shows leadership. He's
sometimes sometimes people question about him.
But you know what? Guess what? He holds guys accountable.
Yes, he does.
He shows leadership. And
I just hope sometimes he holds himself accountable at times.
I think he does at times. But you know what? He also knows that he took a pay cut, so they can compete for some more. You know what? That's leadership right there. that there's leadership. You are sacrificing not
He's
just
loyal. I'll say
offensive
that he's loyal. I'll give him
talent,
that.
but also money, so you can compete.
Yeah.
It's like the thing is, there's a reason why some guys not just win championships,
And
but they stay together for a long time.
what do you think the
Look,
Lakers got rid of Dwight Howard in the first run?
he didn't have heart.
He didn't have
Listen,
heart, and he
listen.
couldn't get. And Kobe, he did not get along with Kobe, or Kobe did not get along with him. Like I don't think. I think to me, Kobe and Steve Nash is probably their relationship is probably fine because Steve Nash played hard every single time he played. Right? Look, man.
There's a reason why Pau Gasol is Kobe Bryant's favorite teammate, probably because look, Pau Gasol may not average the most points, but he plays hard.
You know what I personally think? I personally think Marc Gasol is actually better than Paul Gasol. You want?
I don't know if I would go that far.
I'll say this. I'll tell you why.
I think he's a better defensive player, but I think Powell.
He's good offensively, man. He was a better inside. I mean, that's the thing though. Defensively, and he could pass, and he did develop a 3-point shot. But you're right about Paul, and with Steve Nash, with Steve Nash. The thing is, I think Kobe would have got along fine with Steve Nash because Steve Nash. We watched him, right? He was always playing hard, right? He played hard every
Steve
single
Nash
time.
is the league's nice guy.
Yeah, he's at least nice guy, but he plays hard.
But
right?
again, like I said,
but he was past his prime. He was past his prime when he got to the Lakers. That when he was done.
There's a reason why there's a reason why Kobe got along with Pau Gasol better than he got along with Shaq, even though Shaq average more points was
Shaq has an ego.
player.
Pau Gasol doesn't have an ego. That's the thing. Shaq has an ego.
Because it's not just that. Pau Gasol, I think, played hard and understood what his role was with Kobe.
I think the Shaq was just still so damn. I think the thing with Shaq, he's so damn big and talented that he didn't need to play hard. He could have got away with stuff, right? Like, right?
But again, back to the James Harden, Joel Embiid thing. There was really no leader on that team.
No.
And the thing is, it's like the guy that's expected to be the third best player, Tobias Harris. He hasn't played like a third best player.
No,
he really hasn't.
Tyron Maxey is to me. Tyron Maxey is the second best player, not Harden.
Well, that's the thing. We didn't expect Tyron Maxey to become as good as he has. And it's like Tobias Harris was expected to play that role.
Like they need some. I don't know. I mean, they got Nick Nurse, but like Nick Nurse had the blessing of players that play hard. I mean, when he coached that Raptor team to the championship, every single player in that team, played hard. Was defense. Every player in that team was good defensively. Every player in that team was good defensively, and they always play hard, right? I still think even if Golden State had all the 3 stars, I still think Golden State would have won. But I don't think it would have been a sweep. I think it could have been actually a 6 or 7 game series because the Raptors did manage to beat them twice in the regular season with their full lineup. But that Nick Nurse had the blessing of a hard working players, man. Like Kawhi Leonard, I know he's not the vocal leader, but at the time the Raptors he's kind of more of that show me leadership. When he plays hard, right? That's how he leads. Lowry at one point, before he became a Raptor or he is a Raptor, you wouldn't think this guy's a leader at all. But he developed into a leader. Okay? And then once they got Marc Gasol there, Marc Gasol is what really, really brought a lot of leadership tangibles to that team. And you got that. It's just you need leadership to get you over the hump. And Harden, the thing is, Harden had leadership in those Houston teams. He had freaking Chris Paul there. Chris Paul was the leader there. Yeah, Kobe told Shaq to stay ship never. Oh yeah, because you see Shaq's early days in Orlando. He was athletic as hell, man. Oh my god. That's the thing. I don't know if Nick Nurse is going to be the one that's able to fix the Sixers because I don't know if there was leadership in this year in the Toronto Raptors. When I was watching them, there's been stuff off the court. Maybe Fred VanVleet is not exactly the leader we thought he was, or I don't know. There's been some issues between the younger players and the veteran players. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if Nick Nurse could break that curse. I think. Nick Nurse, man. Nick Nurse, you're in Philadelphia, man. You're dealing with bigger egos, man. Because nobody on the Raptor team nobody on this Raptor team has an ego like Joel Embiid or James Harden.
Honestly, if I'm Philly, you know what? if I'm Daryl Morey, I would like, you know what, I would like offer like whatever money for Portland and be like, hey, listen, how about this? Not only will I trade you James Harden, I'll give you all this money.
Yeah,
Just for Damian Lillard, just take James Harden and make him as miserable as you can. Like, you know what? Here's the thing: when you demand a trade, you are not entitled to go to the team you want to go to.
unless you have this your team is in your no trade clause, right? That's
Yeah,
if you
but
negotiate that. But
here's the
yeah,
thing:
I don't think Harden does though.
when a team trades you, it's not their job to trade you to the team that you want to go on. It's
And I
their
put
job to trade and think what are the best assets you're going to get back.
who are the Clippers? Who are the Clippers give up? They're not going to give up Westbrook. They're not going to give up George. They're not going to give up Kawhi. Who would they give up? It'd probably be like Powell or
Like, here's the
somebody.
thing: I know there's been scenarios where players have gotten traded to the teams that they wanted to get traded. AD to the Lakers, but here's the thing: the
Lakers are
the
good players in return. The
the
value they
like,
got.
you were able to get good players in return, so it
Yeah.
made sense. If you're not going to get something
Port,
good in return, then what's the point of then obviously you got to find what you're going to get in
yeah.
return.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the Lakers, New Orleans saw what the Lakers had: Alonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Jason Hart, and there was another good player. Who was the other one? I mean, Alonzo Ball left, but
Josh Hart,
Josh Hart. There was four, wasn't there?
so Josh
Ingram,
Hart, Ingram,
Lonzo Ball,
Lonzo Ball. Oh man,
Randall, Julius
Ray,
Randall. Yeah, it was Julius Randall. Remember?
no, Julius Randle didn't play with LeBron.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got traded. Didn't he get traded for Anthony
You
Davis
know,
also?
he went to New Orleans the season before Alonzo and Brandon Ingram came
Oh, oh.
because the next season I think that's when he joined the Knicks.
The thing is, if Portland would probably want Austin Reeves. That's what I think. Also, like to me, the Clippers don't have much to offer because a lot of them are veteran players, and they're not going to trade their two-star players because Kawhi Leonard is hurt, George is hurt. You could probably have to take like Norman Powell. I don't know, somebody else. Maybe even Westbrook probably has to go back that deal to make it work somehow. That's just gonna. I don't know. Like it's and yeah, you're right. You're right. And teams, especially if you don't have a teams on your no trade list, right? If you have a no trade clause saying that I only want to go trade these teams, I'm not. I have to waive my no trade to go to these teams, right? If you're willing to, right? But like, yeah, I don't think he has any. I don't think he has a no trade clause because he was promised to get traded, right? He was promised to be traded, and I'm pretty sure in that option they picked up or he picked up, they said there was no trade clause involved in it. So that meaning he could get traded to any of the other 29 teams. So he's not winning the driver's seat. And if I'm Philadelphia, I'm trading him for at least another good player that's the same quality as him, maybe even better, or younger is on his rise that can play with Embiid and Maxi, and if you could get him for if and I agree with you, George, just to spite Harden, I'll trade him Portland for Lillard, and he get pissed off in Portland.
Well, that's the thing. Like when you demand a trade, that doesn't
Yeah,
mean
let's go strip clubs.
the team's not gonna make you happy. I mean, here's the thing: like when Kawhi Leonard was traded, he didn't want to go to Toronto, but
No, he
San
didn't.
Antonio saw what was the best
And you know
offer for
what?
them, which was DeMar DeRozan, and they took it.
And you know what? Kawhi manned up about it and didn't whine about it. He accepted it, and he played his heart out for Toronto. He got him a championship. That's the difference. He doesn't. He doesn't even he tries his hardest, man. Especially in your free agent year. Okay, if you're gonna be a free agent, please try. Because if you don't try, your value is not gonna be as high as a free agent. Okay, like and like who was it? Stephen A. Smith. Did Stephen A. Smith say with Kyrie Irving? I would only sign Kyrie Irving. Money is not the money. Money is not the issue, but I always like Kyrie Irving with a 1-year deal every year. That's Stephen A. Smith said about Kyrie, right? I would do the exact same thing with James Harden. Only 1 year deals. Because you can't trust these guys like that. We can't trust them. Like, and there's a belief out there that James Harden really doesn't care about basketball. He cares about more of the social life, the outside life. Going to strip clubs, going to regular clubs. Enjoying the nightlife more than basketball, which I guess is his right. But if it comes to distraction and you come in the shape, you come to come. I mean, if you come to the practice, you come to train camp fat. And look, there used to be a time in sports, older athletes used to say this, that a lot of athletes back in the day would come into training camp not in the best shape, not in game shape. But now, athletes now in our era, they always come to training camp in shape. Majority of them come in shape. Back then before I was even born, they would not come into shape. But now they do come into shape. Like Harden, I think he just cares more about, the nightlife. And I think that's why he wants to go to LA. I mean, he's from Los Angeles, and I think he cares about the nightlife of Los Angeles more than basketball. And to me, that's a distraction. That's something I don't want on my team. Okay? Because that doesn't lead to anything good. Okay? Like it can ruin your career. I mean, his career is not ruined. He's gonna go in the Hall of Fame. Let's be honest. He's gonna go in the Hall of Fame. But
unfortunately,
yeah, look, the numbers speak for himself. It's Hall of Fame worthy numbers. But should he be up there as a 10? Is he a top 10 player? No. LeBron and Jordan obviously 1 and 2. Kobe is definitely a top 5. Kobe's up there. Larry Bird, Magic, Kareem Abdul, Jabbar, upper doing Wade up there, Shaq, Hakeem Awash. I mean, is he a top 20 player of all time? I don't even know if he's top 20. It's because he put scoring records. Hell, is he? Like, and he calls out Daryl Morey. The guy, like you said earlier, as Mad Dog, who did everything for him in Houston, who won him in Philadelphia. Didn't he want to go to Philadelphia in the first place of Daryl Morey?
Yeah.
And right? Daryl Morey, I was talking about winning time, right? You know how Jerry Buss and the GM did everything for Magic Johnson, right? Like they chose Magic Johnson over Paul Westhead, right? And you're probably gonna see that in the episodes in season 2. They did that. They chose Magic, right? And there was apparently some issues between Magic and you said this in the chat, actually, I believe, that Magic did ask for a trade, and they chose Magic over Paul Westhead, right? And you know what? Multiple championships. Pat Riley became a household name. Pat Riley, still one of the best executives, one of the best coaches, one of the best executives this day. Still one of the top tier executives this day. The difference is, and Magic, there was a point where Magic seemed like he enjoyed the nightlife, right? Early on in his young career. That's what many times trying to show, and I believe in real life, it was kind of like that. Trying to enjoy the finer things of LA, because LA obviously you can get distracted in a city like Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Toronto, compared to other smaller NBA markets like Charlotte, Portland, Oklahoma. I mean, they're not in a category where we're from, George, Anthony. They're not. No disrespect to those people from those cities. I'm just being honest. But you know what the difference is? Magic matured over the time. Magic matured as his career went on. James Harden clearly has not matured. And he's 34, right? 34?
He's going to be 34 soon.
Okay. Yeah. That's exactly my point. That's the difference. And I know Magic had the scare that he hit HIV and AIDS, obviously, but I think he matured before that. Because you know why? You're freaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as a teammate. That tells you something. And if Mike D'Antoni and Kevin McHale, a guy who's a championship ring, cannot, and I'm not disrespecting here, cannot make this guy mature, cannot help this guy mature and stuff, cannot be a leader. Because coaches, let's be honest, George, coaches always have to be a leader, right? Coaches, no matter what, a head coach has to be a leader, right? You cannot be a head coach and not be a leader. That's their job, is to coach to win, but also develop and lead, right? If you don't have that, you're not a coach. You can't be a coach. And if Kevin McHale can't do it, and Mike D'Antoni can't do it, if Doc Rivers can't do it, I mean, to be honest, I think I like Steve Nash. Steve Nash was not right for the job. Steve Nash should have started with a smaller. If he wanted a head coaching job, he should not. It should not have been Brooklyn. But if you can't, it's the player, man. It's not the coach. The player's not willing to listen to the coaches. It happens a lot in sports, especially basketball, because coaches get fired like every 1 or 2 years, man. Mike Budenholzer got fired like in his 4th year. Just remember that. It's the player, man. It's the player. Kevin McHale won a championship rings with the Boston Celtics, man. Like, Mike D'Antoni is an overrated coach. He's the coach that gets you in the playoffs, but he's not the coach that will win you a championship because his style is all offense, but no defense. And that fits perfectly with James Harden because James Harden doesn't play defense. And then you're right, George. He did kind of resurrect his career, Mike D'Antoni with Houston. But when did he coach the Lakers? Was that the Kobe Steve Nash years?
Wait, what? Sorry, I was
When did
reading.
he coach the Lakers?
Who coached the Lakers?
D'Antoni. Didn't he coach the Lakers for a year?
2000 for like the 2013 season, the 2014 season.
Okay, that's so the bad years, right? When they were bad, the beginning of the part of the bad years, right at the beginning, right? And when he coached the Knicks, because is that before Mike Woodson? Was that before Mike Woodson? He coached the Knicks. Anthony, George, when he coached the Knicks, what years he coached the Knicks?
Like, I know he was done in 2012, the 2011-2012 season.
Oh, so Mike Woodson made that Knicks team a playoff team after D'Antoni left, right? Or did he coach to get the Knicks in the playoffs that 1 year with Amari and Carmelo? The problem is that Knicks team would not have gone far because their 2 best players, Carmelo and Amari, but they're good on offense. We're not good. We're never good, no one's good defensively. But they did get hurt. I think they did get hurt. But whatever. Like D'Antoni is like Doc Rivers. He'll get you in the playoffs, but will not get you over the hump. Just Doc Rivers is just lucky that 1 year with Boston. Let's be honest. He's just lucky that 1 year with Boston. But Clippers, he can never get past the second round, right? Philadelphia never passed the second round. He's that. But now apparently the NBA might be investigating James Harden. Is that true? Open investigation. NBA is opening up an investigation. Public video. Critique of. They're afraid. The NBA is afraid that James Harden might hold out next season. Wow. The league is pursuing whether Harden was portraying a holdout of 2023-2024 season. Dude, if he plans... Oh, yeah. If James Harden plans to hold out 2023-2024 season, which I don't think he is because he's still making that $35 million, I would not pay him that money. I'm sorry. If you're planning to hold out and develop the Sixers, yeah, we're not paying you. If you're holding out, I'm not paying you that $35 million. I'm sorry. We're not paying you. We're not giving you a check every 2 weeks. The more you hold out, we're not paying you. If you want to get paid, you get yourself in training camp, you get yourself in practice, you get yourself in uniform, and you play the game. That's when I'll pay you. If you plan to hold out, I'm not giving you a dime, a nickel, a penny. Okay? I don't want these players to have entitlement. That's my thing. Okay? I'm not giving you a penny if you're planning to hold out and not play. The only way you're gonna get paid is whether you're injured and it's a real injury, not one of these fake injuries that NBA players like to make up or low management crap. Okay? Or that's the only way you get paid if it's a real injury, or if you're playing the game. If you practice and you're actually gonna play. And if you're not getting a dime or a penny. Actually, a penny because that's 1 cent. What? I'm sorry. And that's not just the same party. That's to any athlete out there. If you're not planning to play and hold out, you're not getting a freaking penny. Okay? You sign a contract. Your job, your obligation is to play for the team you're currently on. Okay? And play the game. You know why? Because the freaking fans also come pay to see you, and this is a problem with basketball in general. That when teams, especially teams that go East and West only once a year, right, George? You know, in basketball, East and West only go once a year. You go, a East team will play in a Western team once a year, and then vice versa, right? And sometimes they do those little management. People in Toronto were very pissed off when the Lakers came to Toronto this year, for example, and LeBron James had a little management day. People in Toronto pissed off about because people bought tickets. A lot of people bought tickets and they paid a lot of money because in sports, when specific teams come to town, they jack up the prices in sports. You know that, George, right? So people were pissed in Toronto when they did when the Lakers did that, and I agree with them. I agree with the fans here. If this player only comes once a time, once into your city, you're not doing a little management crap. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that's not exactly James Harden stuff, but it's all around NBA stuff. And why is it only the star players that do low management? Why is it always the star players that get low management? Are you telling me this eighth, ninth player on the rotation doesn't get low management? Why? Why is it always a star player? I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts on low management is, George, or stuff like that, or James Harden.
I mean, like I haven't really thought of low manager for quite some time. Sorry, I've just been like reading weird stuff on Twitter as you were saying all that. Like I was listening in, but it's just yeah. As far as low management goes, though, I mean the thing is, I've never really been big on low management.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Man.
Michael Jordan didn't do low management, so
Like Michael Jordan got abused, man. Like, yeah. The players back then got abused, man. And you never heard about low management in the 80s and 90s. They got abused. Oh yeah, the new season tournament. You hear about? Oh yeah, yeah. The schedule came out Thursday. The NBA schedule. Yeah, the new season tournament. It's, so I, go James Harden, shave that freaking beard. Maybe you do better if you shave that beard. Looks like Zod's whiter with a beard. Sorry. I was thinking about that for the past hour or two. I was thinking about that. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, like now they're saying oh yeah, it's probably steaks. It's probably all those TV shows where the people that have those beards like that. There's always like a bird hiding in it. It probably has like a bird hiding in that beard. Just make his nest has a nest in his beard. Okay, yeah. Now Joel Embiid. Many around the NBA believe Joel Embiid already asked for a trade. New York Knicks and Miami Heat are known to be keeping an eye on what could develop. God. I'm sure NBA players are wusses. Man, they're cowards. They're cowards. Oh, things don't go our ways. I want to get traded. I want to go, man. You're Embiid, man. Listen to me. You're in the playoffs. You'll probably be in the playoffs again. You're very close to the semifinals. No, the conference finals and the champion. Why are you giving up? Why are you giving up? You're not like you're on the Charlotte Bobcats, the Charlotte Hornets, or the Washington Wizards, or Detroit Pistons, where you're last place all the time, where you ask for a trade. Like, fuck, man. George, I just hate how NBA stars are giving up on teams that are perennial playoff contenders. I just hate that. It's it's superstar entitlement has gone too far in the NBA. Too far. And you know what it is? It's because the NBA is making a lot of money off it. Now, Ben, Let me see something here. All right. Yo, Joel Embiid, you want to get traded? If I was Philadelphia, I would trade James Harden to I would just trade James Harden to like Washington. That's it. Be like, yeah, you're going to Washington. Who's Kevin McKillen?
I think your mic's a bit off.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right, I'll be right back.
Mm.
Okay, it's better.
Yeah, now it sounds better.
Yeah. So yeah, basically like McHale basically said Harden pretty much got McHale fired. Yeah, of course. Of course. It's a problem in the NBA. I feel like the problem in the NBA, George, is that the star players kind of run the team instead of the GM. Let's be honest. LeBron James, who was the GM in the Cleveland? Dan Gilbert? Was it Dan Gilbert?
No, it was LeBron.
Yeah, that's my point right there. Thank you. Thank you. That's my point. It was LeBron, but yeah, officially it was Dan Gilbert, but LeBron really ran the team. Yeah. Like the star players in the NBA kind of run the team. It's oh my god. Oh, they can have input, but like, oh, James Harden, you're gonna play for Sixers, and guess what? Yo, what's gonna be actually gonna be like in the Philadelphia's first home game? Are they gonna cheer? They're gonna boo the hell out of them, right? Because this is Philadelphia we're talking about, man. They don't like people like this. I mean, Philadelphia they either like you or and they might turn on Embiid. If this stuff about Embiid is true, Embiid may not get a warm welcome in Philadelphia, man. Like, dude, there's just a difference between East. Oh my god. Yeah, but what? Oh, if LeBron James will keep James Harden in check, you'd be like, if this is the case, if James Harden goes to the Lakers, I don't know how many Laker fans would be happy. I really don't know. But LeBron probably the first thing he has to do is go to the uniform and be like, you're not going to fucking strip clubs. You're coming me to the gym. You're getting in shape before the season, man. You're not. I'm making sure you're not going to strip clubs or these clubs to party, man, every night. You're coming to the gym. You're coming to the gym with me and getting in shape. We're here to try to win a championship. Okay? Take it seriously. What were you gonna say?
I said, oof, like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm LeBron, I would be saying that. I would be doing that. Like, yo, no. Do the Lakers want a kind of headache?
Not me. I wouldn't want that headache.
Remember, there was rumors about Lakers going after Kyrie, right? I think the smartest decision. The Lakers never were interested in Kyrie. I'm sorry. I never believed they were second for interested in Kyrie because I don't think LeBron was ever interested. I think LeBron still wants the Lakers too. I don't think LeBron wants ever wanted Kyrie in Los Angeles as a Laker. I don't think he wanted him there because look, LeBron's not crazy like Kyrie and James Harden. He knows his stuff. And he's had experience with Kyrie. I personally think LeBron never wanted Kyrie as a Laker. Man, if the Lakers never wanted Kyrie, you think they wanted Harden? You think they wanted Harden? Man, they couldn't work with Westbrook. Man, the Lakers couldn't work with Westbrook.
No, I mean, listen, James Harden wants to go to China. Just like at this point, let him go play in China at this point.
He put up like 40 points, like 20 assists. like 15 rebounds with China.
I mean, what? Like, you gonna like take what? Like, you have what? A good chance of taking on Stephon Marbury as being the GOAT playing China?
Stephon Marbury, that's a name, man.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness!
Yeah.
No, literally, like that's basically what happened with Stephon Marbury,
Yeah.
where his start, where his like all-star career just died out. He went to China to like be a star.
Oh yeah. You did go to China, and Dwight Howard's a huge star there now. Oh my god, that's a funny meme, George. You ever see that meme on Twitter when it comes to basketball? That China meme where like, "Oh, get ready to play with China." I love that meme. That's just a great meme on Twitter. Where's the Oh yeah, Degrassi is watching another stream. I know he's watching.
Oh yeah, I know who he's watching. Who he's probably watching as well. It's just like annoying with this with James Harden. It's like dude can't just make up his mind about where he wants to play.
Get ready. Yeah. It's God, man, like New York, beautiful city. Lots to do there. Houston, beautiful city, lots to do. Philadelphia, not as big as Houston, New York, but there's stuff to do in Philadelphia. Okay? Obviously, if you go to Los Angeles, obviously, there's a lot of stuff to do there, right? Obviously. And I think Los Angeles would be one of the worst places for him because he is a distraction. New York is a distraction. Houston is a distraction.
Just send him to Orlando.
Hey, Orlando's beautiful, man. You got all the Disneyland stuff. It's warm, hot. I mean, this is a big.
He can party with Mickey Mouse.
Like, yeah, he could party with Mickey Mouse. I think I'd rather go Orlando than Miami. I mean, Miami's the beaches, but Orlando has like Disneyland, Universal, all that stuff. But yeah, send to Orlando. He only has 1 year, right? Is this 1 year in his contract?
He might.
Right? That's it?
I think so. Oh, man, my eyes.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think James Harden is. I don't think he's being traded. I definitely think he's staying as a Sixer because he's handcuffed the team, and I don't think there's anything that Sixers want from the Clippers. Personally, basketball is hard. Basketball is hard to make trades with, because there's really like basketball, like baseball and hockey. With baseball, you could trade easier because there's prospects, right? Teams have prospects, right, in the farm system. So obviously you could trade in baseball with other teams because you could get prospects back, top-notch prospects back. In basketball, you really can't. The value of the equivalent of prospects in basketball to baseball is basically draft picks, right? First rounders for multiple years. But Philadelphia is not in a position to take first rounders for multiple years. They want a championship. They want to win a championship. So they would want to take players back, right? And I don't think, and the Clippers, they don't think the Clippers have that. Because they would want to take players back that are at least not very young, but not in their 30s, maybe like 27, 28, to have some years left. Because they probably want to multiple ones at the championship. Philadelphia doesn't want to go 1 to 3 years and then start to rebuild again. They went through like 5 or 6 years of rebuilding already. Why do we want to do that again? Like it's a direction for the team of Philadelphia is in right now. It's James. I don't know, like Embiid, right? Like Embiid won MVP, and he doesn't. I know Sixers get a lot of value for Embiid, but they'd be stupid to trade Embiid.
Well, see what you can get for James Harden, or like
Yeah,
what else?
I personally don't think James Harden's value is that much. I think it's not that high. First, he's a free agent.
Here's what I would do. I would
try to throw in Tobias Harris in there and see what you can get.
Oh yeah, maybe. Because I don't. Yeah, I agree. James Harden. I don't even. You
The
know how they
only-
trade. You know
the
how
only
they
other
trade Ben.
player that they should keep besides Joel Embiid should be Tyrese Maxey.
Oh, yeah. You know my hot take. What is my hot take here? You know how they trade Ben Simmons for Harden? I don't even think they get the equivalent now of a player like Ben Simmons for Harden. I think that's how much he's hurt his value. Because I'll say this: other teams, executives, GMs, coaches, they look at what he said about Daryl Morey, right? And it'd be like, yeah, we can't trust this guy. We can't trust this guy. What if he says the exact same thing about us? If things don't go the way he expected to go with this new team, right? With us, like say if he goes to the Clippers, but the Clippers did not succeed in anything, and he starts trashing the management there. Teams by that clip, his clips devalue his value a lot.
More toxic to have on a team than Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's the thing. At least Kyrie Irving plays well.
Yes. Yeah. Let's not be like naive here. That it's not. We're not stupid. We're not, and other teams are not stupid either. Not like us. They saw that clip. All the other 29 teams, they saw that clip and it'd be like, we want to trade for this guy. What if he does the exact same thing to us if things don't go our way? They're gonna be careful. They're gonna be careful, and they're not gonna give you that much value in return. They're probably gonna. Sixers are not going to get anything of value in return for Harden right now.
This is more bizarre than that time. Remember that time when like Stan Van Gundy basically said to interviewers that he knows Dwight Howard wants him fired, and he said someone told him that, and then Dwight's like giving that awkward hug to Stan, not knowing what Stan said, and Dwight's trying to deny that he wanted Stan fired. This is like an even more awkward situation.
Yeah. I don't know if it's money gets these guys' heads. I mean, obviously money gets these guys' heads. Ego, this, I don't know what it is.
The thing is, like,
guess what? If he goes to the Clippers, he's not even going to be like the number one or number two option. It's going to be Kawhi George. It may not even be number 3 with Westbrook there. He can't work with Westbrook. I'm sorry. He cannot. His style of play cannot work with Westbrook.
Here's the thing. You don't know what he really wants for basketball happiness. He said he was open to return to Houston. It's like Houston's rebuilding.
They overpay for.
So like, what you want to like just get stat pad on an awful team?
Yeah, they kind of overpay for Fred VanVleet, in my opinion. That was an overpay.
But still, it's just like this guy doesn't know what he really wants for basketball.
Why do you want to go to Houston? You know why? Because you probably want to go to the strip clubs and eat the chicken rings.
You don't know what you want out of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of ridiculous with him.
Look. I said in my winning time, my live stream, that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar treats basketball like it was a job, right? Right? And sports is a job. Basically, it's a job. I said Kareem Abdul-Jabbar basically said he treats basketball like it's a job, but his personal life matters more to him, which it should matter to every athlete. But what I said was, his personal life matters more to him is because the stuff he supports, the charitable causes, the stuff like that, charitable causes, all the stuff he supports. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, as you know, he's a very, very well respected man, very well respected in the causes he supports, charitable causes, all the other causes. He gives to the community, stuff like that, right? Which is good. And but with James Harden, it's different. It's not about that. It's about enjoying the nightlife. Same with J.M. Look. J.M. Moran could do whatever he wants in his personal life, but with the stuff he's been doing, come on. Yeah, basketball's a job and your personal life matters. If you have a family of your own, wife, kids, but the stuff that makes you enjoy, the stuff you enjoy outside your personal life, you gotta choose that. You gotta be smart about that. Okay, you can't go clubbing or partying most of the time. Okay, I'm sorry. That is a recipe for disaster. Especially if you're an athlete, a celebrity. That's the recipe for disaster. Okay, it's if I said this long time ago. I said if I was any athlete, if I was a celebrity or an athlete, I would never go to a club. I would never go to a club,
It's
especially
a
if I'm
bad
a
look.
yeah. It's it's it is a really bad look. I mean, you could go once in a while, right? If you want to go to a dance club to dance with your maybe if you have a girlfriend or wife or whatever, yeah, okay. But I wouldn't go to a club very often. It's a really bad look. It's especially if you're a celebrity and athletes. Let's be honest. There's girls there. There's girls there just looking to get with a star athlete. There's be careful, man. This you know I this is this helped cause the downfall of Johnny Manziel. A football, Johnny Manziel. Man, if you I know you're not into football, but I know you probably heard of Johnny Manziel, George.
Oh yeah.
See, yeah. So you know what I mean, right? Like, yeah. This is not a it's not a good look. And this is a it's dangerous. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here, man. A good stream, man, George. I really liked it. I want to ask you something. Are you planning to do a basketball stream in the future?
Probably. Maybe I'll do like an off season. I honestly have no idea because I'm trying to figure out like what's going on with certain trips that I want to take in like the next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of waiting to hear back from certain people about if they want to go or figure out. And what the heck hell is flying in my room? Oh god, I think it's a moth.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. How the hell did it get in my room?
sure. I had a bee come into my room once, like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Holy crap. I better open a window. Maybe that'll to like kick it out.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you have to get it out. Yes. Or it needs to be near a light too, right? Is it near a light?
No, it's like by the curtain by my window. Maybe if I open it.
Yeah, be careful though.
Yeah. But, oh my goodness. Ah. I do want to do a stream on the off season.
Yeah, you got some time. The season's not for another 2 months. You got time. Like you got time for to do it. So it's 2 months exactly, like the 24th or the 25th of October. So when the season kicks off. But yeah, when you got that moth out, go ahead and plug your stuff, man. I know you're planning. I'm planning. What?
I'm
Good. I
getting
know
my
you're planning a
channel.
general stream. Yeah, okay. I know you're planning a general stream, right? Just like a general chat stream, right? Nothing like no topic
Yeah,
specifically.
at some point this week.
So go
Kind
ahead
of
and
just
plug your stuff.
yeah, basically about any topic. It could be about some basketball stuff. It could be about any movie news, any YouTube news, any like stuff that's just going on in general, any video game, anything news. No. I'm not really being picky about anything.
No
Just
Blue
it's like a
Beetles.
conversation or just like covering like stuff
No Blue
because
Beetles. No Blue Beetles stream.
I might do one. The thing is, it feels like everyone's doing one the next couple of days. I think
I
Blue
already
Jays
did
doing
mine.
one
Yeah.
tomorrow.
He's
So it's like the thing is, it's like I would do one, but it's like everyone's got one scheduled, and I feel like by the time I'll do it, I feel like everyone like we're gonna cover everyone's covered the movie
well.
enough. So I mean, I do
Yeah.
want to do like streams on movies that have come out.
Are you Are you gonna see Ahsoka?
I might watch
Tuesday.
Ahsoka. I'm honest. Honestly, I have no. I want to hear the word of mouth. I know. I hate when people say that. The thing is, it's. I need. I want to make sure like some of these shows are worth my time.
I know I have
yeah.
time off, but I just want to make sure I'll make sure it's worth my time. Like I
Yeah.
like
So
Rosario Dawson. I like Ahsoka the character. I thought she was great in Mandalorian, but I want to make sure it's worth my time because I've become very hesitant with Disney Plus series.
yes, so I'm going to watch Ahsoka, and I'm planning to do like a spoiler review and a non-spoiler review. Non-spoiler will obviously be a video, and a spoiler review will be a live stream. It's because the debut is Tuesday night, 9 p.m. our time, right? Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So it's a little different from Disney Plus. Disney Plus usually doesn't do it like that, but they changed it for Ahsoka. But I'm not doing a spoiler. You know what? If I don't know, I might do the spoiler review on a Wednesday or a Thursday of this week coming up. But if you do a Blue Beetle review, uh, I know Blinded is seeing it Tuesday.
I know. I mean, I did when my review not getting spoilers, but
Yeah, yes. If you talk about spoilers, the live stream, I know Blinded is seeing it Tuesday though. He said.
yeah, like I said, I gotta wait and see because I also got stuff that I want to do as well. Like I'm supposed to go on a couple of trips,
Okay.
so it's kind of depending on my schedule as well.
Yeah.
Because I also want to get last minute summer fun stuff
Yeah,
out of the
man.
way.
I feel like I before I really end this, before I plug myself, I feel like the summer's gone really fast.
Oh, it has.
I hate that. I only want winter to go by fast, not summer.
I'm gonna try to open the window.
Oh, but yeah, guys, thank you for all listening. Make sure to like, share, subscribe to George's channel. Yeah. So, like I said, it's all about wrestling. Episode 79 tomorrow. I'm doing wrestling reviews after a show ends for 5 days a week, which is really hard. Gotta try to cram a 3-hour show tomorrow night into 10 to 15 minutes. It's really hard. But yeah, and, I'll do more sports shows. You know, football season's coming up. I'm gonna do a season preview of the NFL. And like George talks about basketball. Eventually, we're gonna do an NBA season preview. We're gonna do predictions, championship, who's gonna make the playoffs, rookie of the year stuff, MVP. We'll do early predictions for awards and stuff. And same with the NHL. And we're gonna do more sports wrestling and sports topics, where regular sports topics and the things that caught our attention, cost the media's attention. Like I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna maybe I'll talk about the Yankees and how bad they are in the future in a couple weeks. How bad the Yankees are. I don't know, because they're really bad. George, I'm pretty sure the Yankee fans are right
Oh
now.
my goodness! I don't even want to talk about it because my boss is a Yankees fan. It's I can tell he's devastated. I know a lot of my friends are devastated
Yeah,
about how the season's turned out.
yeah. I know it's New York, man. Yankees are like number one, right? And yeah, I know that's not good. The Stephen A. Smith, man, he's a huge Yankee fan. I want to hear what he's thinking. He could
Oh my goodness!
But yeah, but check that out. Well, yeah, you know what? And obviously, oh yeah, the NFL season starts again. So I'm gonna do videos previewing every week of NFL games. I'll give you my prediction who wins and loses. It's gonna be a video, not a stream. And then we're gonna and I thought about doing that for NHL and NBA to do it every day preview games for every day, but that's too much because you have to do it every day. For NFL, you don't have to do it every day. For NBA and NHL, you kind of have to do it every day. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, comment below. Take care, guys.
Peace.